Welcome to part 7 of the ZENITH 6D-525. We're just starting this video now because at this time I have not uploaded part 6. Of course, by now you have seen it. We took this plate off. To tell you the honest truth, I don't remember which way this went and what the purpose of this thing is. I think it was this way. This hole is bigger than this one, and I think that was done to accommodate this. But that's not the problem. The problem is the damn dial cord. It's strange. The spring is over here. There's only this much movement, and you would think that it would move more, but it doesn't. If I turn this, it just slips. So we are not dealing with the dial cord. I just wanted to open this front up, clean it up in here a little bit. Wasn't too bad. And just show you that. There's no way I'm dealing with the dial cord. So that is this is going to be the start of part 7. There'll be more to come in a little later on. For you, it'll be a matter of seconds. For me, it could be several days because I have not put the cord on this yet. This is the same night, or actually the same, well, it's nighttime now, that I'm starting this part of the video. And I just finished part 6 using the Sony digital camera for the video, and this one is being done with the JVC. So just want you to know that's the story there. On the pilot light, upon very, very close examination, and I'm trying to find it in the viewfinder, and I'm having a heck of a time seeing it. Pilot light. It's 6.3 volts. And I thought it was 63K. The way it's handwritten, and the V and the dot after it. Why they put a dot after it, I don't know, but that makes it hard to read. And what threw me off is the filament. Meanwhile, I installed a number 47 in here. Okay, so when things are not written clearly, it is very hard, especially for me, to see things. Also on the schematic, I made these dots where I can read them, and they make sense now. This is the clear schematic, but it was still doubtful in here. So now you can plainly see, and I can plainly see what I am doing, because it's very easy to misread. That's the way a schematic should be written. Okay, we're going to get back on this video as soon as we get the line cord. We don't know when that's going to be. Meanwhile, I did install down here the Acosta line safety cap, which is an 047. So the only thing I got to connect on that terminal, and that hook terminal down there, which you might be able to see, is the neutral side of the power line. Okay, stay tuned, there's more to come on this video. We continue on part 7 here. This is the next day before I turned the camera on this morning. You saw the dial off, the plate off here, and these knots that are on, you see down in there where my finger's pointing, was getting jammed up in the hole down there. So I managed to free that because it was stuck in the hole. And what it was doing is coming down through the hole right there, and the spring was sticking into the hole, and I had to push it out with a screwdriver. And now it's working good. Of course, I still don't have a line cord on here, so I can't trace it out. I got the volume all the way up, and it's still very weak. Can just barely hear the... but you can see, maybe you can see, that I'm turning the dial now, and tuning capacitor is working good. So I'm able to operate it without having to do anything with the dial cord whatsoever, other than to clear the spring and center it so that there's a hole on one side, and you probably can't see that because I think it's under the volume control. Not sure. I see one hole here where it would come out, but I don't know where the other one is. Yeah, it's underneath that pulley. So I had to center it so that I'll use my fingers as an illustration here. You got two holes in the chassis where the cord goes down through to the shaft, okay? So the spring was coming up and around like this, and then it would come down and it got jammed in one of the holes, okay? So when I freed that, and then I adjusted the pulley with the set screw that I showed you earlier on the other videos, so that when you turn it left to right, the spring doesn't go into the hole on this side or the hole over here. That's this set screw right down in there. Where the screwdriver's pointing. You might be able to see that. That's the one I had loosened. But now it's working perfectly. How long, I don't know. But that's the update on that. What I'm going to do here off camera, I'm going to shut this off. Shut that off. Shut my power off. We're going to go get the antenna coil here, and we're going to put Duco cement, which appears to be glue anyways. I'm going to just glue this, you know, in areas here all the way through. I just don't want this coming apart, and we got to do this on the other side too. You can see where there is originally some glue there, so it seems to be a clear type of glue similar to the Duco cement that I have. So that's what we're going to do. We just want to we don't want this thing to fall apart on us. And what I'll probably do is to put clip leads on this and connect to these wires here. This is a ground wire, I found out later. And this is part of the coil here. So I'll clip lead that on, but I don't think that's going to solve the problem. I checked more resistors, and they're pretty much on. One of the resistors, I don't remember which one now, was supposed to be 22,000. I think it's 22, and it read 26. So I think that's over 10 or 20%. I can't figure that out. But anyways, I don't think that would keep it from, I turned it off now. I don't think that would keep it from giving any volume, but who knows? Maybe it'll come to life when I hook this up, because I know you're not going to get anything until you hook this up. I understand that. So we're going to hook this up, and we'll do that on this part here. But right now I'm going to glue this without being on camera. And I'm only going to put a little bit. I'm not going to glue the whole thing all the way down. I'm just going to do, parts of it, like about 1 inch here, all the way through. Similar to the way they did it. Okay, I got one side glued. It's very, Duco cement, which is right here, is very watery, but it's definitely dry. I put this on about an hour ago. So we're back on this video. Just got back from Home Depot, $2.27. I think it's a little bit thinner than the one that Walmart has, which is good. It's 16 gauge. I'd prefer 18, which is a little thinner. The higher the number, the thinner the gauge. And it may very well go in here. If not, I'm going to have to drill out each hole a little bit more and run that in there. So we're going to cut the receptacle off here and use this, and it's 6 foot, so that should work good. I checked lamp cords at Home Depot. They want $7, and they're about 20 feet long, and they're black and clear, and that's crazy, So that's the story there. So we're going to try to put this on. Okay, as I suspected, this was going to have to be drilled out, but not too bad, just a little bit, because the wires are not going to fit in there. But I think we can deal with it, not a problem. So we'll come back on this video after I get this cord installed. You don't want to see me struggle getting the cord in there. All right, I'll be back in a little bit, hopefully. Okay, I got the cord in. I had to drill this out, but not really bad, but I had to drill it out. There's no room in here to put a knot in. It's going to clog up my area over here. So what I usually do on most of these radios is I put a little zip tie on the wire on the inside, so it gives it like a strain relief. I've got the neutral side shortened here, and I double checked myself. The wide prong is the neutral, and that needs to be shortened again to get down into that little loop there that you may be able to see. So we're going to connect this up off camera. This is the hot. We'll be going right to the switch here after we feed it in there as best we can, but we don't have room to put a knot in. This is heavy. This will be a big blocky knot here, and I won't be able to get in there at all. So we'll do the cable tie thing, and then to keep it from sliding, we'll put a little bit of just a drop of Duco cement or something on the zip tie after I get it tight as I can on here. And I can only use a zip tie probably, well, I might be able to put it across both, but there's a space there, as you can see here, you know. So I didn't have to drill it out too much. I had to go quite a bit, but not as much as I thought. So the wire is heavier than I like it to be. I don't think the conductor is going to be a problem going into that loop or into the volume control terminal. All this I'll be doing off camera. We'll come back when I get it all done. Alright, I got it in there, and you can see I put a cable tie on it. I can only get it on one wire. Actually, I tried to get it over both wires, and my eyesight didn't allow me to. I thought I had it in there. It was already tightened. It's not going to pull out, and I put Duco cement on the wire and the clamp, keep it from sliding up. I tightened as much as I could, and I brought the wire up, pre-tinned it, and it stuck through the loop in there. I twisted the line cord neutral and pre-soldered it and stuck it in there, and I had to put solder on my iron and carry it over, which is the incorrect way to solder, but there's no other way I could do it. It's extremely crowded in there, and I'm getting about 8 megs of resistance between the neutral plug here and the chassis, so I'm not shorted out to the chassis, so that's good. And I double checked and triple checked myself to make sure. So now the wiring's correct. There is some movement here. The glue is not dry yet. I put a lot of glue in there too. It didn't bleed through. All right. We're going to run this wire. We'll let it set it a little bit. Seems to be dry. I thought I put some glue down here too, but I guess I didn't. If that don't work, I'll put some silicone in here. But I don't think that's going to pull out, because I can't put a knot in there. If I put a knot, I'm over off the camera again as always. If I put a knot in here, I would not be able to get in there. It's a rat's nest in there, you know, and I just can't do that. So, all right, now next step is to bring this wire up and around and go into the switch over here. I'll do that when this sets up a little more, and then we should be able to trace out the circuit and find out why we're not getting very much volume. But before we do that, we're going to glue the other side of this. This is dry already. We're going to glue the other side of that antenna assembly and put it off to the side. We'll be right back. Okay, I have it in there, best I can do. Alright, we're at 115 volts, 16 volts. I even put another speaker on there. Very faint hum. You can see the make sure that's up there. Yeah, make sure the dial cord seems to be working. How long I don't know, but the tuning capacitor is opening and closing fully. I thought maybe the weak volume was due to the bad speaker, but don't seem to make any difference, and I'm sure the output transformer is good. But now I can trace it because I've got the cord properly attached and going through the isolation in the variac. So we can dig out a transistor radio and see if the oscillator is working. I am not sure if that has to be connected in order for that to work. Certainly don't sound good. At least we got some life out of it anyways. Needs an alignment, but start chord's springy. Actually, what it's doing is slipping. It's nothing new. Right now, I've got the antenna on here. We're going to crank up the radio here. Let's get that right up to 115. No, I didn't think it would make any difference. I didn't think it would make any difference. As I checked under the chassis again, and there don't seem to be anything wrong under there. I didn't short anything out to my knowledge. It's a very quiet, dead radio. Yeah, because according to, from my memory, the black wire, which I replaced here, went to the top terminal. The grid cap here went to the lower terminal, and the ground from the tuning capacitor went to this lug here, and there was only 3 wires. I don't know. Oh. Okay. That's the tube that kept going out in my tube tester. The emission kept going out when I moved it, and the pins are looking good. Pretty dead at the upper end. course, I got dehumidifier. That makes all kinds of damn noise from this here. Now it's totally dead. Thought I heard something. No, it's a squeaking of the dial cord. Okay, well, this is the end of part 7. I can't estimate how long these things are, but they've been a good half hour or more, and that's hard for me to do. It's time-consuming rendering such big files, long HDs. But you can see where we're at. We're getting a little somewhere, and although the radio is not performing good. All right, that concludes part number 7. I'll be working on this today and maybe get it up tomorrow or late tonight, all depends. Thanks for watching. I guess we're getting there slowly but surely. I'll be checking on the base of this socket here. I'll try to tighten up the pins. These type of sockets are fairly easy to tighten up the pins on. But that didn't, other than making a little hum, or when you plug this thing back in, you'll hear static all over the place. And it goes away when I tip the tube. So I gotta investigate that. So this concludes part number 7.